Aloha folks, and welcome to today's video. Today is Monday, May 24th, 2021, and in 2 days, 4 a.m. Vegas Valley time, we will be having our full moon in Sagittarius. So get out your journals and notebooks and figure out, what were you doing 6 months ago? What seeds were you planting 6 months ago? And what were you doing 12 months ago? What harvest were you gathering? Because every time it's a full moon, it's time for a harvest. And a lunar eclipse does tend to mean endings, whereas a solar eclipse does tend to mean beginnings. So these eclipses come in sets and cycles. So, pardon, they do mean that, let's say you've been really working on something, as I have been, and Sagittarius falls in my first house. So for me, it's really about the self and the inner work and knowing who and what I am. And so I have been working so hard. I have not been making too many videos this week just because the inner grind has been wrenching. And so here I am now making this video, and it's really been eye-opening for me to see certain patterns that I have been displaying that I recognize aren't necessarily me. These are things that I learned in my childhood, and that really ties in with the first house. And so it's been my work this last week or so, building up to this full moon, to really ask myself how I can be me. And I've talked about in previous videos the removal of masks. And that has been one of the things that's been a big theme in this past week. And behavior in and of itself is a mask. So Sagittarius, trying to hit on the truth. Yeah. Where have you not been hitting the mark in your life? And where have you maybe thought you were hitting the mark, but then realized once you got there, you were totally off. Life's an adventure. That's definitely a theme of Sagittarius. Life is an adventure. You can pick up that bow and arrow and shoot for the target. But then once you get there, there's another target. Life is an adventure. But Sagittarius likes to rest. He does like to rest in between. So make sure you honor that. Fire is the element of Sagittarius, and fire needs to be fed. That's one of the things. Fire is an interesting element because it's so reliant on the other elements. Fire needs earth in order to feed, and it needs air in order to breathe. Earth doesn't necessarily need air. Earth can just be pretty muddy, water pushing out the air. And when you have fire and you're burning wood, there is a little bit of steam. If there's any moisture still in the wood, it comes off as steam. So fire is an interesting element because in order to have fire, all the elements come together. So just remember that when you're looking at Sagittarius and looking at your life. Okay, folks, the plan is to have more videos upcoming, so we'll see how that goes. And until then, enjoy the eclipse.